It feels more comfortable to look for an asset type that you understand. So, I started watching Flippa, and I watched a few other websites, but by far the most of the deals were going through Flippa at the time. And for me, it's like, okay, I can see a website that's totally based on, I think back then it might have been Google ads, paying for ads through Google. Nowadays, it could be Facebook ads or whatever. And I was like, I'm not a pay-per-click marketing expert. So for me to take over a site like that, it's just too overwhelming, and it would take me too long to figure it out. So I kind of stayed clear of what I didn't know. And I looked for basically two sites. I had two strategies. I understood blogs. To me, that made sense. So I'm like, I'll look for blogs that were basically good, obviously traffic. That's the obvious thing. A lot of unique visitors and page views, but also how they monetize. So if they were doing advertising sales, affiliate product sales, or digital product sales of their own creation, I got that. I was doing it myself. I felt like if I could take over something like that, I could make it work. I understood it. But actually, the main target I really wanted to find were forums. This was, I guess, a little bit of a unique throwback to my card game website, because I owned a trading card forum, as I mentioned earlier. And the reason why I wanted to acquire more forums was the user-generated content aspect.
Yes,
So,
yes.
I was, I was already maxed out on content. And I learned this after acquiring a second blog, as I explained. So I bought the second blog, and suddenly I've got to write to two blogs. I'm like, okay, this is not going to work if I buy another blog, another blog, another blog. I can't just sit here and double and triple and quadruple my output as a person. Now, I knew I could bring on guest writers and possibly one other blogger, take over. But when I thought back to my forum experience, I'm like, now that's smart. You have a community that's creating content. They're coming back every day to talk to each other. So I was primarily searching for forums-based sites with a healthy community. And then if they were making money from the same methods, advertising, affiliate marketing, and or selling some kind of digital products. So I understood the monetization method, and the traffic was stable because of user-generated content. That was my sweet spot. So I started looking every day on Flippa for that kind of site. And it took a while. So I'm sure
because they're not that popular forums anyway, really.
Well, yeah, I think
popular back then, a bit more popular back then, though, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they still weren't like every day you'd find a new forum popping up. I think, even today it's probably far rarer to find one. I mean, it's just an old format, right? No one starts forums nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they do exist. And yeah, right. And I think there's probably, the equivalent of that in other types of content, some kind of user-generated content, like a marketplace, as opposed to a forum. But for me, I got forums. I understood how to manage one as well. And, I remember one popped up and I was too slow. Like, as you know, probably very well.
Yeah.
Once the metrics are good, you've got 24 hours to get in there and make an offer, because you're going to be going up against competition. So missed one. Unfortunately, maybe that probably made me a little bit skittish with how fast I wanted to move on anything after that. I might have, been a bit more risk tolerant, because I felt like I'm going to miss it if I'm not pushing myself.